I saw this. So if you guys are not familiar with the Human Rights Campaign, you actually go to my screen. He'll bring up the tweet later. But so did you see this anomaly? This digital portfolio for the Human Rights Campaign, and there as the British group is saying that they have located the biggest and most voice or vocal people who are speaking out against the grooming of children, the sexualization of children, etc. And they've created a comprehensive list. And instead of praising them, I thought this was going to be an award book that was going to praise people. Like this is how, like, I mean, they really put their time into this, right? Center for Combating Hate, and this is a very long document. They actually, their idea is that anybody who's speaking out against sexualizing children, they've connected that to speaking out against the gay community. To if I was gay, that I would be very offended by that because they're sort of making this saying it's sort of a sexuality or it's part of their community, and they want Twitter and social media companies to actually ban these people legitimately for saying things like "okay, groomer." And if you see this right here, if you go to my screen, they're even mentioning Blaze hosts here, like Sarah Gonzalez saying "okay, groomer." We know James Lindsay got banned. They have this entire chart of like when people said groomer, right? You have like Jack Posobiec says Disney groomers on a shirt, and you have like Libs of TikTok is mentioned in there, and you go down even further, and they made a list. And they said, "Hey, we're not alarmed that people are sexualizing kids. We're not alarmed that people are targeting children. What we're alarmed by is that this, for our blind viewers who are listening, reminding you this is an audio-only podcast. You can get it on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you can get audio, and you can listen." So I'm going to read this list to you. They mentioned Marjorie Taylor Greene, James Lindsay, Lauren Boebert. You probably recognize those people. Marjorie, they already got deleted. James Lindsay, they got deleted. Chaya Rashik, that's Libs of TikTok. Tim Young, Christina Pushaw, Frank Drew Hernandez, also known as our boy Drew. Chad Prather from Blaze, Jack Posobiec, and Matt's Idea Shop. And they are saying the cure to trying to normalize sexuality is to silence anyone who disagrees with it. I don't know what you think about this anomaly, because to me, I'm not shocked that they're going this far, but it's crazy that they're not only going after the kids, they're saying, if you're against us, we are going to start lobbying tech to silence you. And we've seen this over the years. Like, it's not enough that we have our own ideas, it's that you're not allowed to have yours.
Right. The left is really good at hiding behind social justice, right? Whether it be LGBT, BLM, public health during the pandemic, and basically putting their authoritarian slash, communist style agenda behind the social justice. So then when you fight back, it's not just, oh, you disagree with my ideas and lockdowns. It's, oh, you're going to hurt millions of people. You're going to hurt us. You're going to exploit this group. So they're really, really good at that. And I think the right's not good at countering it. And I think you nailed it earlier when you talked about these vulnerable groups that they kind of exploit. If you look at the pandemic and the forced masking, right now, there's still millions of workers that are forced masked. I've worked hard. I'm independent. I don't have to because I have the resources to not have to work a 9 to 5 right now for a company that I can't get out of. But those are the people that they're exploiting. So I'm a patron. I have money. I come in and buy something. They don't make me wear a mask because they want my money, but they're treating these workers like garbage because they can exploit the working class because they have nowhere to go. A lot of these immigrants that don't even speak English that they claim to care so much about, these are the people stuck with the mandates and the forced masking. Meanwhile, it's the wealthy people and the elites who don't have to wear it because they're the patron. What's the science of a worker wearing a mask on a cruise but not a patron? The science is they're exploiting the working class. They claim to help them. They're so tyrannical. They're so evil. And of course, they prey on women and kids because, a woman without a good father figure or without a good boyfriend in their life is easier to exploit, in the same way as they're easier to jump on the street because they're physically more vulnerable than a man. And obviously, we don't have to talk about how moldable a child is. So, they hide all of their evil behind social justice, behind helping kids and stuff, but really they're just exploiting. And, Merrick Garland showed on television on a big scale that if you question him, they're not looking to be better. They're not looking to be challenged. They just want you to trust these communities and their agencies, and they don't have to do anything about it. Rochelle Walensky, they don't have to get better, admit they made mistakes. It's like big government on a macro scale. Do not question the big government sucking up your whole life. And on a micro scale, it's don't question my sexuality, environment agenda. And they become very intellectually lazy and very evil. And